There are certain prayers you guys don't have to pray. I saw on Facebook yesterday a prayer point that God will make you live long to see your great-grandchildren. And in the comment section, a lot of people were replying, amen, 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 amen. And it got me thinking, why would somebody want to live to see their great-grandchildren? As in, why? Why are you that selfish? First of all, if you are 40 years of age and you are not married, you do not have children, and you replied amen to that prayer point, or you're praying to God to make you live long to see your great-grandchildren, as in how? How is it going to happen? You're 40 years old. You're not married. You don't have a child, and yet you want to live long to see your great-grandchildren. Unless you're 40 years of age and you're already a granddad, then of course in your prayer points you can pray for God to make you see your great-great-great-grandchildren. Because if at the age of 40 you already have grandchildren, then you can live to see your great-great-great-great-grandchildren. Because a lot of you are praying amiss, or a lot of you are just praying for the sake of praying, and you don't really know why you're praying. First of all, if you want to live to see your great-great-grandchildren, that is selfishness. Why? Because when you get old, you will become a burden to those your great-great-grandchildren. In fact, to most of you, or some people, as old as they get, they have Alzheimer's disease. They cannot even remember their own children. They cannot even remember their own partners, their own siblings. How then would you remember your great-grandchildren if you are praying to God to make you to live up to that age? As in, why do you want to see your great-grandchildren? For what? My mom gave birth to me when she was 26 years old. I had a son when I was 26 years old. And in a few years, who knows, my first son, who is now 12 years old, would have a son. So if in few years my son will have his own son, maybe at the age of 20 or 25, I have hope that will be a great grandfather. But for now, this is not what I'm thinking about, because at the end of the day, the older you get, you become a burden to the people you've left behind. Why do you want to live to see your great grandchildren? As in how? As in how? I don't understand. So guys, know the prayers you pray, and know the amens you comment on Facebook or on social media, because you feel every prayer is for you. If you already have grandchildren, then yes, you can pray to have great-grandchildren. Or you have children at the age of 40, you can pray to have great-grandchildren, but you're not yet married. And you're praying now to have great-grandchildren, as in how would that happen? Now listen guys, if you really want to live to see your great-grandchildren, this is what you have to do. Make sure you get married in your 20s. If you're not yet married and you're in your 20s, this is the time to look for somebody to get married to, or to have a child of your own. So you have to have a child of your own in your 20s, and that your child that you had in your 20s will have to have their own children in their 20s. You understand? And your grandchildren will also have to have their own children in their 20s. That way you can be a great-grandparent. But aside from that, because you do not control how your children will get married, or you can control how they get married, but you do not control how they will get children. Yes, because truth be told, most people are on sterile or infertile or barren or whatever. But anyways, that is the most selfish prayer point you can ever pray to God, to live to see your great-grandchildren. As in, why? Why would you want to live more than the age of 90? When you're not going to be strong anymore. Why? Unless at the age of 90 it's going to be your new 40. No problem. But aside from that, it is selfish to pray to God to see your great-grandchildren. It is very selfish. Especially if at the age of 30, at the age of 40, you don't have any child. As in, do you want to become Methuselah? I don't understand. So guys, mind the prayers you pray. Pray for your daily bread. Jesus Christ said, give us this day our daily bread. That's what you have to pray for. Pray for today. Forget about tomorrow. God will take care of your tomorrow for you if you trust in God. So Just be contented with today. Tomorrow, you pray again, God, give me a life today. Then the next day, you pray again, God, give me a life today. Forget about living to see your great-grandchildren, because at the end of the day, when you, or if you finally meet your great-grandchildren, what are you going to do for your great-grandchildren? Most times, you might not even remember them. You might not even recognize them. You might not even know they are your great-grandchildren. So why are you praying to live to see your great-grandchildren?